So, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team SamRX1 here. Welcome to another episode of YGOPro. And in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about why negates don't matter anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! This card, I truly believe, is one of the most broken cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So far. It's one of the cards that can't be negated. I hope you guys know which card I'm talking about. So there's a lot of cards like Solemn Judgment, cards like Orchestrated Crescendo. There's also cards like Jackal King and Demion. There's a bunch of negate cards, Vortex Dragon for example, and that just negates a lot of effects and spell and trap cards. But with Super Polymerization, negates doesn't even matter when Super Poly comes into play, right? So today, hopefully, I can demonstrate you guys a really awesome YGOPro duel. Who am I facing today? Who's my victim? Game plan? Is this one of the Pendulum players? Listen, anybody's name that has game plan, 100%, I can guarantee you. I'll bet you $1 to all my subscribers if this guy isn't playing Pendulums, like 100%. You know what? Let's hop into Mr. Game Plan's room right now. All right, Mr. Game Plan. Without further ado, let's begin. Come on, let's do it. You guys all know Paper Gang. Let's get started, bro. Good luck, have fun. All right, okay. We didn't get to choose. So the deck that I'm playing today right now is obviously Blue Eyes. If you guys... What did I tell you? What did I tell you guys? Oh my goodness. And any person with the name Game Plan or Pen God, and they're obviously playing Pendulums when it comes to YGOPro at this point. So he's gonna go Current Razor. I'm playing Blue Eyes right now, so this deck is a deck that I showcased on my channel a while back. If you guys have not yet checked out the deck profile, I recommend you guys checking out in the link in the description box below. And so my hand right now is Sage, Bigfoot. I have the White Sword and Ancients traded, and also Gizmek Orochi in my hand. Gizmek is actually a really good card. The free body during either player's turn, which is really good. So I can potentially summon this card on my opponent's turn by just banishing the top 8 cards of my deck. If you guys are not familiar with this card's effect, I can banish 3 cards from my extra deck face down to destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, which is really good. So he's going to go with the standard Pendulum plays. He's going to go Electrum. Is he playing the Sloth version? Let's see if he's playing the Sloth version. There are so many different variations of Pendulums. Every version of Pendulums are playing Endymion at this moment. So he's going to pop the Current Razor to add back the Endymion. He's going to play Servant in the Scale. Let's see what else he has. And he's also going to activate Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic in the Scale as well. So he's going to have 1 counter on a Servant. Depending on what he does, there are so many different lines of plays that I can actually go towards when it comes to actually playing this deck. Trading can potentially help me get into Super Polymerization, which is actually really, really good. So he's not going to do anything else. He's just going to Pen Summon. He's going to Pen Summon the Gate 0, Endymion, and also the Reflection from his hand. Honestly, at this point, I really think the best line of play is for him to just make Dweller. Like Dweller is just so good in today's format. A lot of Pendulum players don't make Dweller for some reason. Either making Sloth or the Strudo. But I felt like Abyss Dweller is overall more of an impactful card. I felt like a card that just stuns your opponent for the entire turn is just more beneficial than just a single negate in my personal opinion. So that's why I felt like sometimes negate doesn't even matter if cards like Super Polymerization actually exist in today's metagame, right? So I felt like the better line of play here, he should have just made Abyss Dweller 100%. Like on the activation LP, I'm going to activate Gizmek Orochi. Right here, banish the top 8 cards of my deck, especially summon this card in defense position. The reason why I summon it in defense position is because he has the ability to make Vortex, right? So he can, if he makes Vortex, if I summon Orochi in attack mode, he can bounce back the Orochi to my hand. And I don't want that to happen because I want to be able to have this card on the field so that way I can use his pop effect on my turn. He has a bad Ash. No Ash. It's just the Gizmek. So he's going to make the Absolute Dragon. And he has the Strudo, so he can end on F8 Dawn Dragster as well. Yeah, so he's going to make the Vortex Dragon. So you summon a Gizmek in defense so that way that you can dodge the Vortex bounce effect. Now he can pay half his life to target the Current Razor so that way that he can make F8 Dawn Dragster right here. So he has 4 negates right now, in the very standard play that Pendulum has when it comes to actually establishing a board. So this board's actually really good. He has a 1 universal negate, 2 spell and trap card negate, and 1 bounce, which is really good. Against decks like Solomon Greats, Orcus, this board can actually be really problematic for them to actually deal against. Sage, Bigfoot, the White Sword and Ancients, traded, and also cards of consonants. Again, if you guys haven't checked out the deck profile, I recommend you guys checking it out in the description box below. And I can actually do a lot of stuff. I can, slowly pick away at his board. Let's see how many negates I can deal with once I bait out everything. So I'm just gonna activate Gizmek Oroshi's ability. I'm gonna banish 3 cards from my extra deck. So the cards I'm gonna banish is Violet Chimera. I'm obviously playing Super Poly, so this card is useless. I can banish this card right here, the Predator Plant Trife. Okay, I can also I can banish the underclock taker as well. So I'll banish these 3 cards to target the vortex. And the reason why I do this is because this is the universal negate, right? I want to try to bait out the negate as much as I can. So I want to try to target the vortex dragon so that way that it baits out the vortex negate. So that's already 1 negate gone. Now I have to deal with 2 negates and 1 interruption. So now what I can do is that I can activate trade-in. He can negate the trade-in with Mighty Master or the F8 Dong Dragster. But the reason why I want to activate trade-in is so that I can send Bigfoot to the grave, so that way that Bigfoot can pop his other negate. So Bigfoot and trade-in is already dealing with 2 negates in 1 already. So we're going to send Bigfoot to the graveyard. I want to try to pop the F8 Dawn Dragster as much as I can, so I can potentially use cards of consonance to draw into more cards, right? He's going to negate it, okay? But I have Bigfoot, so I already dealt with the Vortex negate, so I can freely activate Bigfoot's ability to just target the F8 Dawn Dragster and just destroy it. So now I'm dealing with 1 interruption. He has no monster negates. I can freely go off with my Sage Whitestone. I can also use cards of consonance as well. But the best way to actually use cards of consonance is with the Whitestone Legend. So I'm going to normal summon Sage. Activate Sage's ability. We're going to search the Whitestone Legend directly from our deck to our hand. At this point, what I can do is I can make Link Karibo. And I want to see on what can happen, because like I want to try to bait out the sphere. Like I want to bait out the sphere at this point. No, honestly, no. Maybe it's best to use cards of consonance first. Yeah, I can use cards of consonance. I can send the Whitestone Legend to the graveyard. Draw 2. Let's see what I draw. Depending on what I draw, my line of play can obviously change, right? Wow. Just wow. Just wow, the card that we were talking about. We draw it now. It's okay, we already broke through all the negates, right? But if you drew Super Poly in our first opening hand, that would have been easier to actually break the board. But like I said, guys, Super Polymerization, like negates don't matter anymore because this card actually exists. To be honest, I don't even need to use Super Polymerization at this point. I can just go into battle phase. Let's see what he does with the spear. Okay, so let's attack into the spear. Let's beat out the sphere, because if I go Super Poly now and use use Super Poly on the Vortex and also the Endymion, he can just spear back, like bounce back the Super Poly target into my deck, right? Because spear doesn't target. So he's gonna bounce back the Link Karibo. What can he bring out from his deck at this point? Another Strudo. So let's go to main phase 2. Okay, what we can do now is very simple. We can actually activate Melody of the Awakening Dragons. We can send the Whitestone Ancients to the graveyard. The reason why I don't want to activate Super Poly right now is because I want to keep the Blue Eyes in my hand so I can search Levianeer directly from my deck to my hand, right? So I can easily... So first I want to do is like, I want to summon the alternative, okay? Right here, Special Summon Alternative by rolling the Blue Eyes. Single Super Poly. I can send the Blue Eyes to the graveyard and then just send away, obviously make the Predator Plant Fusion. Send, of course, the Vortex and also the Endymion. Okay, summon the Predator Plant. Really, really good. I don't even need to activate the Predator Plant Fusion. Now what I can do at this point is that, let's see, I can summon Levianeer. Okay, by banishing 3 lights in the graveyard, I can banish Blue Eyes, Whitestone, and also Sage to summon the Levianeer. Okay, cool. Awesome. Now I gotta activate Levianeer's effect to revive back the Whitestone Legend for my graveyard. Really cool, because now I can end off on IP and also Spirit Dragon, which is really good. So now I can make Cypher Dragon with these 2 guys, and now I can activate Cypher Dragon. This is awesome because I can detach the Levianeer to steal the Strudo. Okay, nice. And now what I can do next is I can go into Galaxy Armor. Okay, awesome. Like Galaxy, activate Galaxy's effect, detach the Predator Plant or the Cypher Dragon, whatever. Pop the Endymion that's in scale. Now he has to top deck something, and he has the Servant that's in his hand. Now I can link away the Galaxy and also the Strudo that I stole from him to make the IP. Now I can use the alternative and also the Whitestone to make the Spear Dragon. And you guys all know Spear Dragon, it's instant game against Pendulum. I can also negate the Strudo that's in the graveyard as well. And now the Whitestone Legend is going to get its ability to literally add Blue Eyes White Dragon directly from my deck to my hand. And now at this point, I have Gizmek in the graveyard, which I can also use to make Unicorn and IP into Gizmek, and also discard Blue Eyes to the graveyard to bounce back something with Unicorn. I literally broke his entire board, and that's what's really good about Super Poly, because it bypasses Hole in the Negates. If he has Solemn Judgment or Crescendo or Zephyr Divine Strike, they couldn't negate it. At this point, when he activates Servant, I can just go Gizmek. I can just Gizmek now. Why not? I'll just go Gizmek now. Banish 8 cards. especially when the Gizmek. Let's see what he does. So he's gonna go Servant. Nothing. I'm not gonna chain anything. Let's see what I banish. Okay, so he's gonna go Current Razor. At this point, what I can do is I can just go IP's effect. Go IP. Cool. I'll go activate IP's effect. I can just make Unicorn by sending Gizmek and IP to the grave. Okay, cool. Okay, Servant gets scales. Unicorn comes out. Activate Unicorn's ability. Send the Blue Eyes to the graveyard. I can bounce back Servant directly to the deck. And Current Razor can't even summon itself to protect, to crash to the Unicorn because this card's a once per duel effect. And now it's already game at this point, right? So this is very, very awesome. And at any phase, I can just go Spirit Dragon, go into Azure Eyes, which is really good. And Azure Eyes can revive back the Blue Eyes that is discarded off the Unicorn, which is really good. So I can activate this card's ability, especially in the Blue Eyes. Back from my graveyard. I can just enter battle phase and just attack for game. I just want to showcase you guys that negates don't matter anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? Like, it's way better to end on cards like Abyss Dweller, and if you can even make cards like Outer Energy as a thought, well, it's going to be pretty hard because obviously the rank of Magic card is banned. And that's why Abyss Dweller is just so good in today's metagame, because it's a card that you can activate on draw phase. It's a card you can activate on standby phase. It's a quick effect, which is really awesome. And it's also a lingering effect that just lasts for the entire turn, whereas single negate cards needs to be reactive. Your opponent needs to activate something for you to counter that certain card. You understand what I mean? That's why I feel like Abyss Dweller is just way more impactful, and that's why cards like Blue Eye Spirit Dragon is really good, because it's a lingering effect where it prevents your opponent from specialing 2 or more monsters at the exact same time, right? Cards that actually have lingering effects that stay on the field, it's just way more beneficial than single negate cards like Solemn Judgment, Crescendo, or cards like Jackal, Endymion, or Vortex, right? Because if you leave multiple cards like those on the board, you can easily get blown out by cards like Super Polymerization. This is why Super Polymerization is just so good, especially being at 3, and it's just a really great blowout card to actually help fix the meta for decks like Pendulums or decks like Thunder Dragons, right? Negates are still really good, but is putting up 7 negates really matter? So like Jesse Kahn was saying in his deck profile that he won off UDS Panama, all he needs to make is Galatea, Abyss Dweller with Crescendo, and pass. That's just like 2 negates, and that's enough to just win you the game, right? Because Abyss Dweller just takes care of every single thing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts are about negates in today's metagame. Do you guys think that putting up 7-10 negates really matters? Or is it more impactful to just put up 1 lingering negate like Abyss Dweller, which lasts for the entire turn? Cards like Solemn Judgment, Crescendo, it doesn't really become as impactful if Super Poly exists, right? If you can't negate Super Poly, then if you guys haven't checked out the deck profile, make you guys check it out in the link in the description box below. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I've been playing this deck for quite a while now, and this deck is absolutely insane. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. This is your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.